Do you have any update on Kenneth? We saw him go down there at the early part of practice.
Yeah, Kenny rolled his ankle and had to leave practice. We're still, kind of unpacking a lot of the information, but just rolled his ankle.
Same ankle that he hurt in the Cowboys game.
I'm not sure about that.
Okay.
Brandon, what about Chris Harris? Do you think he'll?
Yeah, Chris practiced some this week. We're trying to decide. I think it'll be more of a game time decision for him. He's practiced, and he's wanted to get out there, and this guy's a real competitor, and so he really wanted to test it with shoulder pads on, give it a healthy 2 or 3 days work, and so proud of him that way. And then we're just gonna kind of make that more of a game time decision.
Justin went from limited to DNP, just setback with the calf.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to play in this game. We're trying to be careful with him. It doesn't feel quite up to speed. He got off to a good start this week, and I was optimistic. But yesterday, there's still just a little tug in there. So we're going to make sure that he's full speed before he comes back.
Brandon, with Kenneth Murray, so are you hoping it's not long term, or is it actually a good chance to play tomorrow, Monday?
I don't know that. I just know that he rolled his ankle. I don't know the severity of it. They're still waiting to kind of get the details here shortly, but we'll know a lot more later today.
Does it kind of help you with the questionable, the players that are questionable? Does it kind of help you with the extra day? It kind of gives you more of an assessment and more of an opportunity to the business see if they can play or not play?
Yeah, there's a lot of time between now and Monday night, so I think that's a good thing. But more importantly, I think Nick is just we feel confident in the depth that we have, and it's just part of the NFL, and that's the team that we have to be. Is that when things like this happen, you just keep it moving, and you prepare those contingencies the best you can, and get those other guys ready to play, because this is a part of the league.
What have you seen out of Chenna over these first 3 games, particularly in the pass rush?
Yeah, I like that you brought him up, Daniel, because I just talked to him this morning. I felt like this guy's playing well for us now, and I feel like he's getting into his rhythm and timing. He rushed well in the Dallas game, had a couple of really good rushes on Dak, and then he had the big rush against Fitzpatrick against Washington. And then last week I thought really was active around the quarterback. I thought our whole front was, but Chenna specifically. And he's a playmaker. I think that all the things that you guys probably know, even better than I do, just being with him, I think that he's a good fit for our system. Jay Rogers has done an awesome job coaching him, and Chenna's a guy that we really trust and respect, and just looking forward to continue to work with him because he's definitely a playmaker for us.
And how's Nick Neiman been coming along because of Kenneth's injured? That might open up some opportunities for him.
Yeah, Joe, Nick Neiman, as you guys know from the beginning of preseason, had a really nice preseason, played as much as anybody, and I think he led the NFL like in tackles or something like that. And then what he's done a nice job is carving out a 4-core role on special teams. Just feel like he's really been an impactful player in that way. And then on defense, you're able to see him go against a premium offense every day, so you're getting to see that level of athleticism against our offense every single day. And just this guy sees the game. He is a gym rat. He's long, and he's still, there's still so much development in his body. I think 1 year from now, his body's going to look even, just a lot different. But he's working hard at his game, and we really like coaching him. I would have no problem putting him in the game.
Brandon, what made you guys go with Joe Gaziano over Eric Banks?
Yeah, we tried to, because Joe was going to be up his exemptions, we tried to get him up so that we wouldn't lose him. Felt like we could get Eric back later in the week, by having it happen, midweek, late week, and Detroit was able to pick him up. I'm excited for Eric. Disappointed to lose him because, really like Eric Banks. But I was with Brad Holmes at the Rams and Aubrey Pleasant, so they're very aware of what type of player he is, and I think that Detroit needed some D linemen. So just disappointed to lose him because I have a lot of belief in him. But it's obviously a great situation for him.
This is your first Monday Night Football game as a head coach. Excitement, nervousness. How are you feeling going? I mean, you're gonna say it's just a regular game, but
no, it's a Monday night game. It's exciting. I know that I'm excited to have it in our stadium. I'm really looking forward to seeing the powder blue in the stands, and it was an awesome way to start the season, and just looking forward to competing in front of our fans. And it's a great measuring stick. Normally when you play on Monday night, you're playing against a really good football team, and this is a really good football team. They're 3-0, so I'm excited to compete in front of the world against a premium team to see where we're at. And so I think it's going to be exciting for everybody.
Coach, when you look at guys like Darren Waller, Winfro, guys like that, and especially in that passing game, what challenges do they present to you, and what do you have to do to prepare to make sure that they don't just go crazy on the field?
Yeah, well, I think anytime you're playing a passing attack this prolific, they have a lot of targets. I think Edwards, the younger receiver, has been fantastic as well. I think that kind of get lost in some of the production of their runners. Some of the receivers, Darren, obviously, I think Edwards has been fantastic too. And I mentioned, they also have Zay Jones, Willie Snead, and they're just a very complete offense, and they have a quarterback that allows them to operate at a high level. They can get in and out of plays, in and out of personnel groupings. They can really get into premium plays because of the experience of the quarterback. And then I think what makes them difficult to defend is that they can put these pieces a lot of different places. They have a lot of different formations and a lot of different ways to get to those formations. So very tough cover, particularly in the passing game. And then in the running game, now that they're getting the runner back and they've had more time with the new offensive linemen, they've always been a good running football team with John Gruden. They've always been able to play physical football. So I think now that they have their O-line continuity with those new guys, I think that, they have a very complete offense.
Brandon, what do you think the crowd's going to be like in an environment with some of your Raider fans in the LA area? Do you expect to be heavy Raiders, a good amount of Chargers? What are you kind of expecting?
I expect electric environment. I expect it to be like the first game where, there's electricity from the minute you get into the stadium. And I expect to be able to see a ton of powder blue in that stadium. And I'm excited to see them. It's going to be fun to compete in front of them. And, this is it's a division game. So I think it's important to both sides, what's happening on Monday night. So looking forward to it for sure.
On top of everything else with this game, it's also the crucial catch game for the Chargers, and with the importance of league places on this month. On a national stage, what would you want, the nation and maybe everybody else to kind of know about your cancer journey, your family's cancer journey, and kind of how it's defined you?
Yeah, I think the NFL does a lot of special things within the season, within the calendar year, to bring great awareness to really important topics. And I think that this is one of those topics that impacts everybody, regardless of your race, regardless of your gender, regardless of your age. Cancer is something that impacts everybody throughout the entire world. And all of us have been touched by this topic in one shape or form. And I wouldn't be the head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers if it weren't for my cancer journey. Cancer has been, if not the biggest, one of the biggest reasons why I'm here today. My mom had breast cancer, and she had it for a long time. She had stem cell transplant, remission, recurrence. I saw a lot as a young kid growing up, what chemotherapy, radiation, all this treatment looks like, what it can do to you and your family and to others. My dad had thyroid cancer when I was young. He just finished prostate cancer treatment last springtime, and then I went through it. When I was 24, I had Hodgkin's lymphoma. So I've seen a lot. I've lived through a lot, and I've met a lot of people that have gone through just as much or more than I have. But I think what cancer does is it can bring out the best in you. I know that it's brought the best in me, and I think that most of the time when you're going through a cancer journey, you need to know that you're not doing it by yourself. And I think that the reason why I'm here today is because I had great doctors, I had great nurses, Deb Wu back, in Beechwood, Ohio, taking care of me. I had my family, I had my friends, my faith, and you can't do it by yourself, And I learned that by watching my mom and my dad, and then I think that the other thing is you need to have belief in yourself. You need to see other examples of why you should believe that you can do it. And I think that hopefully for me, they can see somebody. I'm just, a kid from Perry, Ohio, and I was in Division III 5 years ago, and you can live your dreams. You can do anything that you dream of if you believe in yourself. And I think that so much of beating cancer is believing in yourself. And a lot of times it's knowing that, hey, there are other examples out there that show you that you should believe. And I got to see it with my mom and dad. I was lucky that it was personal. My examples just happened to be within my family. I saw my mom. I saw my dad. So I knew I could do it. All right, and sometimes that's just what you need, is just knowing that you can do it. And I'm so excited for the Crucial Catch Munch. I think it's fantastic what the NFL does, and I'm hopefully to be a proud representative of that.
Going back to football.
Sure.
But, just in terms of the run game and the run blocking, I know you mentioned earlier this week that the couple of runs that you guys broke off in the fourth quarter was maybe an indication of this offensive line coming together. But what have you seen, and how much of a process is it when you have 4 new starters in the offensive lines to develop that kind of chemistry on double team blocks, on those types of things, to be able to block effectively and consistently?
Yeah, Daniel, I think it's an excellent point. I think that when you do bring new people and you're joining up with new people, it's the O-line, it's the tight ends, and the fullbacks, and it's the receivers, because the receivers are a big part of the run game too, identifying who to block. So I think that just from a fundamental standpoint, hey, this is how we do it here. This is how we are targeting these runs. These are our landmarks. I think there's that feeling out process that's real for whatever side of the ball that you're in. But in the run game, just, hey, this is who our personnel is. We really want to be this, but okay, this is who we are, and this is what works best for the group that we have. And then, hey, this is how we're going to attack the opponent, because, hey, we're dealing with a lot of different front structures, coverage systems, personnel, and, hey, how do we week to week be who we want to be? And so I think that we're learning that right now, and I think that we've been able to take advantage of the experience of some of those older guys, Corey, O'Day, Matt. Those guys have a lot of experience, Brian, and then even Jared Cook in the run game. Those guys have played a lot of ball, and I think we're improving all the time. I think Frank Smith, Sean Surratt, those guys are doing, Derek Foster are doing a great job designing it. And I think that what we need to do is just continue to feature those guys, because sometimes with the run game, you see the returns on that investment later in the game. And I think that you'll continue to see that the more we feature the running game just in general.
Brandon, do you have any stories on John Gruden? Have you met him before? Do you have a relationship with him?
I've met him once. Don't know him well. I mean, we both went to the same school, but I know a lot of people that have worked with him or worked for him. Frank Smith, our line coach, our run game coordinator, worked with him, and then even Joe Lombardi. Being in New Orleans, John's had such an impact on Sean Payton, Pete Carmichael, that entire group. I mean, John Gruden is one of the most influential football people in the league, and he's been around a lot of incredible football just from his entire time in the NFL. As a position coach, head coach at multiple teams on television, he's impacted a lot of people that are certainly in the NFL right now and in the front of the NFL. So I think that I have the utmost respect for him and his path. He doesn't know. I think we've all probably learned a thing or two from him in some shape or form. And I think what he's doing there now in Vegas is really getting that team where he wants it, and making, it's taken some time, I think. They've obviously had a transition too, moving to Las Vegas, but I think that you're seeing a team that's more representative of the type of football that he believes in. And I think that you're seeing a real complete team, and have a ton of respect for him.